No more speculating on preseason play. Let's get right into this week's edition of the Power Rankings.
Starting at the bottom, I think the number 32 team heading into the year is the Seattle Seahawks. How long will they stick with the Geno and Drew Lock combo?
Fasten your seatbelts and get ready for some actual meaningful games. And we're kicking things off with our Week 1 edition of the 2022 NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 32. We're still having a difficult time being optimistic about the Giants this year. The wide receivers didn't really stand out in preseason or training camp, especially $72 million man Kenny Golladay. Daniel Jones will have his work cut out for him as he plays to keep his career as a starter alive. Number 31, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 31. Drake London's knee injury puts a damper on the Falcons' upcoming season. The main storyline to follow is how long Marcus Mariota can hold on to the starting job before rookie Desmond Ridder gets his chance. Number 30, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 29. You better familiarize yourself with rookie running back Dameon Pierce, one of the top 2022 preseason performers. Not trying to get overly optimistic, but what if he's the real deal, and what if Davis Mills proves that his rookie year was no fluke? The Texans should at least be a little more enjoyable to watch in 2022, but expecting them to contend for a playoff spot is still silly. Number 29, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 30. Second-year QB Justin Fields starred in preseason play. Yes, it's only the preseason, but Bears fans need something to get excited about. This is an awfully flawed roster, though, and it's unfair to expect rookie head coach Matt Eberflus to turn the group around in year 1. Number 28, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 27. It's unclear if Zach Wilson will start week 1 as he continues recovering from a knee injury, hence why gangrene falls one spot in the rankings. If Wilson can't go, it'd at least be fun to see how Joe Flacco fares against his former team, the Baltimore Ravens, in week 1. Not that the Jets would have much of a hope in that game, regardless of who's playing quarterback for them. Number 27, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 28. You can just see how much morale has improved under head coach Doug Peterson in Duval County. Trevor Lawrence looks like someone who's ready to go off following that forgettable rookie year, and a healthy Travis Etienne will make this offense that much better. The playoffs aren't in reach just yet, but the Jaguars should be able to score more upsets and avoid being handed the first overall pick for a third straight year. Number 26, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 26. Geno Smith was unsurprisingly named the starter over Drew Lock, who left a lot to be desired in preseason play. Not saying Smith is gonna light it up, but he did have 5 touchdowns against only 1 pick last season while filling in for an injured Russell Wilson. Number 25, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 23. Deshaun Watson's suspension was expanded to 11 games, so adios to the Browns' Super Bowl hopes. We gave them an ever so slight chance of competing for a wildcard spot, but they ain't contending for a championship in the loaded AFC. Number 24, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 24. Nice to see 2023 overall pick Jeff Okudah healthy and winning over the confidence of Dan Campbell's coaching staff. If he plays the majority of the season and reaches his ceiling, this Detroit defense could be something special. Number 23, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 22. Chase Young is on the PUP list and will miss at least 4 games. Not at all ideal, especially considering how horrific the Commanders' defense fared in the preseason. Defense is supposed to be the bread and butter of Ron Rivera's squad, but let's be realistic here. Their playoff hopes in 2022 will come down to Carson Wentz, which is why it's hard to be optimistic if you're a Commanders fan these days. Number 22, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 25. Baker Mayfield was solid in preseason play and looks absolutely reborn. We'd put him down as a prime candidate for Comeback Player of the Year honors. What do you think? We love the Laviska Shenault Jr. trade for Carolina. They needed to get DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey some help, and their young defense should take another step forward in 2022. Number 21, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 21. Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett both made compelling cases to be the Week 1 starter. Throw in the dazzling play of rookie George Pickens, and the vibes are all good in Steel City right now. There is a lot to be excited about in year 1 of the post-Ben Roethlisberger era. Imagine if that D returns to elite form, and if Najee Harris builds off a spectacular rookie year. Number 20, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 19. There is a lot of noise in Foxborough about the team's sluggish offensive performances. Maybe it wasn't smart to bring back failed NFL head coaches Joe Judge and Matt Patricia to co-run the offense, or whatever Bill Belichick has them doing. Malcolm Butler's injury and ensuing release leaves the Patriots with a gaping hole at corner. So it's okay to be a bit concerned about this team, even if they're led by the best head coach ever, right? Number 19. Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 20. Sure didn't take many long to cut 2021 third-rounder Kellen Mond. Kevin O'Connell and company must have full confidence in Kirk Cousins, so hey, that's something for Vikings fans to be excited about. If O'Connell can do to Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson what he did for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp in LA last season, Minnie should emerge as a playoff contender and one of the most exciting teams to watch during the 2022 season. Number 18. Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 17. The Cowboys were already a prime regression candidate in 2022. And then they found out that future Hall of Famer and offensive tackle Tyron Smith is out until at least December following a torn hamstring. Dallas's only saving grace is that they play in the NFC East, so it might only take 8 or 9 wins to sneak into the playoffs. Number 17. Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 18. Alright, time for the Redbirds to ignore the outside noise and focus on living up to expectations once and for all. Kyler Murray is loaded with weapons, even without DeAndre Hopkins for 6 games, and Cliff Kingsbury was given a lucrative extension to take this team to another level. Arizona ought to win at least one playoff game in 2022. Absolutely no more second-half meltdowns, please. Number 16. Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 14. Ryan Tannehill is the undisputed Week 1 starter, but Malik Willis's strong preseason play makes things a little more interesting. Will Mike Vrabel at least consider using Willis for some gadget plays in meaningful situations? It's worth a try if you ask us. Number 15. Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 16. Not that preseason games actually matter, but the Raiders went to perfect 4-0 in exhibition games. That was capped off by a 23-6 demolition of the Patriots, Josh McDaniels' former team. Week 1 against the Los Angeles Chargers cannot come soon enough. Number 14. Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 15. Matt Ryan crushed it in preseason play, and we have very little doubt that he'll fit nicely in Frank Reich's offense at this point. The Colts field one of the NFL's deepest rosters and have no excuses to miss out on the postseason again. It does help having 2 bottom feeders in the Jaguars and Texans in the division, though. Number 13. Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 13. Denver followed up that ugly 42-15 preseason loss to Buffalo with a more respectable performance during their victory over the Vikings. Not a whole lot more can be said about Russell Wilson at this stage. The Broncos look like a bona fide contender with Danger Russ leading the offense. Now, they just gotta make it happen. Number 12. Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 11. Tua Tagovailoa earned rave reviews for his preseason play, and rightfully so. It's just, Miami needs to see that carry over to the regular season. Like the Broncos, Miami is stacked on paper. Truthfully, it is hard to imagine Tua failing in year 3. Number 11. New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 12. Chris Olave is going to be a machine in that offense. Pretty encouraging stuff, huh, Saints fans? It was surprising to see Nola trade away underrated corner Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to Philly, but this is still a top 5 defense. Number 10. Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 9. Priced free agent signing J.C. Jackson will miss time after undergoing ankle surgery. That's enough for us to drop the Chargers 1 spot. It's gonna be tough for them to contain those Raiders and Chiefs offenses without Jackson in weeks 1 and 2 respectively. Number 9. Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 10. The C.J. Gardner-Johnson acquisition from New Orleans is one more cherry on top of Howie Roseman's fantastic offseason. The Eagles suddenly look like the team to beat in the NFC East. Number 8. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 8. They still have Tom Brady and all, but losing Ryan Jensen for most, if not all, of 2022 and Aaron Stinney for the entire season, that offensive line went from a strength to a big-time weakness rather quickly. Number 7. San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 6. It was an up-and-down performance by Trey Lance in the preseason, but that was largely due to the horrible pass protection in front of him. The 49ers better get that figured out ahead of Week 1. On another note, keeping Jimmy Garoppolo on a reworked contract made sense for both sides. It's a good thing that they have an insurance policy in case Lance isn't ready for prime time. Number 6. Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 7. Hey look, the Ravens went perfect in preseason play yet again, extending their win streak to 23 games. And it can't be bad for their confidence heading into the season either. With Gus Edwards set to miss at least 4 weeks, the Ravens need J.K. Dobbins to return sooner rather than later. Number 5. Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 5. Looks like Matthew Stafford's elbow will hold up just fine, so the Rams are locked and loaded and ready to defend their Super Bowl championship. The Rams are running it back with the same core of superstars, plus the additions of Bobby Wagner and Allen Robinson. Now we just sit back and wait and see if they become the first team to repeat in 18 years. Number 4. Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 3. Most people are focused on the Packers offense without Devontae Adams, but we prefer to pay more attention to a D that brings back a healthy Jair Alexander and rookies Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker. We get the feeling that the D and not A-Rod will be responsible for the Packers' deep run in January. Number 3. Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 2. Congrats to the Bengals on getting revenge against the Rams by beating them in the final week of preseason play. The rebuilt defensive line means that the Bengals offense enters the season with limitless potential. We're very excited to see how Joe Burrow and company fare since they won't be flying under the NFL radar anymore. Number 2. Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 4. No need to look too hard into the Chiefs training camp or preseason performances. We know who these guys are and what they are capable of. With 4 straight AFC title game appearances, you know just how difficult Patrick Mahomes and company will be to stop when it matters most. Number 1. Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 1. Like the Chiefs, the Bills didn't really have much to prove in the preseason. They are the consensus Super Bowl 57 favorites, and rightfully so. Bottom line, Buffalo has the deepest and most balanced roster heading into the regular season. Now's the time for them to finally break through with a Super Bowl title. But what changes would you make to our NFL Week 1 edition of the Power Rankings? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.